Good morning, dear students. Sahar Shahid is here with you once again for another online session of English literature. I hope you all will be having a great time at home. Because of this exceptional time period, we are supposed to carry on these online sessions. I hope I'm able to make you understand this new topic we are going to start. Dear students, right now we are moving towards the poetry section, and the first poem we have is the Daffodils, unit number 4. Just to avoid boredom and to break the flow, we are moving towards unit number 4 and we are skipping unit number 3. I know you all are familiar with the poem Daffodils and the poet William Wordsworth, and I know you would have read this poem in the previous class, so it would be easy for you to understand the poem. What are the daffodils, dear students? These are the flowers which are found on the bank or on the side of the lake, and they are yellowish in color. You can see in this picture, these are the daffodils. Daffodils was the poem was created by the poet known William Wordsworth. He was born in April 7, 1770 in England. The place which is given over here is basically in England, and this place was surrounded by natural beauty. Let me add one thing here, that 1750 to 1850, like the time period when he was born, was time called romanticism in English literature. English literature was having different eras, different time periods. One was Elizabethan era, other was Victorian era, we have modern era. The romanticism was basically the time period marked by imagination, freedom of thought and expression, and idealization of nature. Poets, writers, and novelists belonging to this time period had the impact of the time, and nature was the most important element here. The highlighted work which was done by the poets and the novelists was on the beauty and the love of nature. William Wordsworth, in his early childhood, he was amid natural beauty. His school was at Hawkswood, which was the place of natural beauty indeed, where he wrote his first poem. So we can say that from his early childhood, he was fond of writing. He introduced romanticism to English literature. His poems were inspired by powerful emotions, declaration of romantic principle. This is why he was given the title of poet of nature and father of romanticism, and this is why he was called that the person who introduced romanticism to English literature, because of these very qualities. He emphasized on the importance of imagination, solitude, and significance of emotion. He was a poet of outdoors. He was also called the poet of outdoors. Why? Because he was inspired by magnificent beauty of Lakes District, nature, or mountains, native mountains, and some other important spots where he used to write his poetry. And eventually, because of this, we can say he was called father of romanticism and the poet of nature. The important work that was done by the poet William Wordsworth is given over here: lyrical ballads, the prelude, and daffodils. These are the important poems of the poet William Wordsworth. Now, how he wrote daffodils? The point is how he wrote daffodils. Because of the aesthetic sense he had got from very early childhood, he was having an aesthetic sense. What is aesthetic sense, dear students? Aesthetic sense is basically your ability to admire the beauty. So he had that aesthetic sense, and because of this, he could this aesthetic sense could lead him to write on the beauty and love of nature. That was 1802 when he was walking along the lakeside. He was having a cottage near close to the lakes district, where he used to go some of the time for for having the soothing effect of nature. So it was 1802 when he was walking along the lakeside, and there he got the sight of daffodils. He was walking along with his sister, who is also a writer. Then he was so moved by the sight of daffodils that he wrote a poem called Daffodils. And this poem was written, he started writing the poem in 1804, And then in 1815 he published the poem Daffodils, which is indeed a masterpiece of English literature.